YouTube, what the crap's going on? Welcome to the next episode of How Many Peasants? Alright, YouTube, this is a little over 2 minutes in, and it's almost 300 kills for the Grail Guardians. Look how they've taken up like the circle of the knights here, the round table formation, if you will, and they are fighting off peasants by the droves. 20% physical resistance, immune to vigor, immune to psychology, not that it would matter from the peasants. The only thing that they make people afraid of is their foul stench. And look at them just cut their way through. Peasant after peasant after peasant, now up almost to 400 kills. Let's see how this plays out as it continues. Alright, we're now 5 minutes into the melee, folks. 5 minutes, only 2 Grail Guardians are down with 750 peasant kills. These guys do not tire. Their arms can strike down peasants all day long with their flaming swords. Incredible. Absolutely incredible just how ill-prepared peasants are to fight such a foe. I mean, when there's a single foe, they can group up and each get attacks, but the peasants have to spread out their attacks over these units. 20% of the peasants' attack doesn't even count, and because it's physical resistance for the Grail Knights, and it goes up against 120 armor. And like I said, the Grail Knights never tire. Never tire. So this is going to go on for quite some time. Folks, this is a full 1,200 peasants later, and we're talking only 2 dead Grail Knights. Yes, their health is approaching 50%, but 2 dead Grail Knights to over 1,200 peasants. Look at the ring they're creating, the ring of dead peasants that you can actually see from above that looks like some kind of gaping wound or something, which I guess is pretty indicative of what they're doing to these peasants. This is gruesome. Just absolutely gruesome. And the beating will continue and continue. Alright, folks, a while later, the Grail Knights were still in their defensive formation, but you can see the peasants are actually starting to rout en masse from one side of the circle, so completely encircled by thousands of peasants. The Grail Knights actually fought themselves out of one side of it, killed the enemy general. They are 1,700 kills almost into this. And look at the peasant morale waver. These guys just cannot take the beating that the Grail Knights are giving. Still only 2 dead Grail Knights to 1,700 peasants. Alright, folks, the Grail Guardians have slain 2,000 peasants at this point, and climbing. Climbing rapidly, the Grail Guardians up to 2,030 peasants. Only 5 of them down. They have fought the peasants out of the encirclement, the peasants have regrouped back into the encirclement, and so forth, on and on. You can actually see the still ring of dead peasants as we get above. So an unbelievable performance from the Grail Guardians here. I don't think the peasants can stop them. I think these guys are going to win. They're a little bit beat up after having slain this many peasants, But I think the Grail Guardians are actually going to take this home. Let's see whether or not they do. Just look at these beasts. These clearly gods among men, the way they fight. Unbelievable. These peasants. They may have thought their numbers saved them from Al Gorbel, and they did, and that was a glitch, by the way. Gorbel would have actually defeated all these peasants much better than the Grail Guardians, just so that you all know. Alright folks, we are crossing the 2,500 dead peasant threshold, and the Grail Guardians are not done yet. They've lost a lot of hit points, but look, the peasants are in utter disarray because of being so thoroughly defeated in what we'll just have to call the blood circle here for the peasants. It's been unreal, and the Grail Knights are just not going to give in. The peasants can swat at them with their pitchforks and their shovels and their poorly prepared weapons of war. But these Grail Guardians, there is a reason the Grail Guardians lead the peasant armies of Bretonnia into combat and protect the Fey Enchantress and others. It's because these peasants are not worthy to step on the same ground that these Guardians grace with their presence. It is most definite. And when you see what these guys do against you in battle, why would you do anything but follow them into battle? You're sure as heck not going to revolt against these guys. Woo! Talk about crazy. I expected a good result from the Grail Guardians. I really did expect a very solid result. What I did not expect was for them to actually defeat all 4,000 peasants, driving them off the battlefield and racking up over 2,600 kills. An absurd number of kills. I'm speechless. That is pretty impressive. I did not think that there would be a single unit in the game, and I literally only just clicked an attack order on one unit of peasants, and I did not touch it from there on out, and the Grail Guardians racked up the 2,600 and some odd kills, completely routing every single peasant mob from the field. Can anybody beat that, folks? Do you think there is any unit in the game who can beat that performance? I don't know. Being immune to vigor, having that kind of armor and physical resistance, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know. I guess even a Mortis engine, think about something like that. I don't think it could take the hit points away from these guys fast enough to equal that. It's unreal what those Grail Guardians just did. Hope you all enjoyed this episode of How Many Peasants. I appreciate you being here. If you want to see more content, make sure and click my logo in the bottom right hand corner. It'll allow you to subscribe and keep you up to date with the newest videos. I appreciate MSI sponsoring the work I do on this channel. I do have a cool announcement regarding them that should be coming out soon, coordinating some stuff with them, and appreciate their help, and I appreciate you, my awesome viewer. I'm excited to make these videos for you each day. HeirofCarthage signing out. I will see you soon.